On this episode of China Uncensored, wouldn't China make a better friend? Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Well, the U.S. and the Philippines are just wrapping up joint military drills. And it's a bit bittersweet. Like the last days of high school, you and your girlfriend tell each other you'll totally stay in touch, that nothing can keep you apart. But deep down, you both know it's over. Because let's face it, the U.S. and the Philippines are drifting apart. Times have changed, and you've coupled together for the last time. I think the Philippine defense minister said it best.
And maybe we should reassess. Are we benefiting? Are we getting what we should be getting from the alliance or the Americans as well? Or is it time for us to look for other source of our materials? It's part of this maybe growing up.
It's part of growing up. Sure, some harsh words have been said, and there's been regret.
He regrets that his remarks to the press have caused much controversy.
But also forgiveness.
I don't take these comments personally because I think it seems to be just a habit, a way of speaking for him.
And then some more harsh words.
Mr. Obama, you can go to hell.
Because the Philippines is seeing someone else, and it seems the relationship with the U.S. is over.
I will break up with America. I would rather go to Russia and to China.
Grr, China! Yes, under their new president, Rodrigo Duterte, the Philippines is cozying up to China. Because China is so much more supportive. Well, whatever. The U.S. is totally fine with it. I mean, if you love something, let it go, right? But this period of experimentation and self-realization may not turn out too well for the Philippines. Because if you hook up with China, well, she ain't gonna treat you right. So why is President Duterte leading the Philippines towards this risky, if exciting, new relationship with China? It's related to two major issues in the Philippines right now. One is the territorial dispute in the South China Sea. This is the Scarborough Shoal. The Philippines and China both claim it, and they have nearly come to blows over it. The Chinese Coast Guard has at times blocked Filipino fishermen from the region, even fired their water cannons on them. Then China alleged Filipino fishermen threw firebombs at their ships. The Philippines did recently win a major victory, though. In July, a UN tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, saying China has no right to a large part of their claim in the South China Sea, including the contested Scarborough Shoal. And U.S. President Barack Obama had the Philippines back. Before the ruling, Obama had warned the Chinese leader of serious consequences if China reclaimed land at Scarborough Shoal. But after Duterte became president,
Mr. Obama, you can go to hell.
And ahead of Duterte's upcoming trip to China, he said he's not even going to bring up the Scarborough Shoal. Why? Because the Philippines can't win. Why the 180? Well, it has to do with the second big issue in the Philippines right now, Duterte's war on drugs. In an attempt to rapidly solve the Philippines' drug problems, he's gone after both drug dealers and users. More than 3,300 people have been killed in just a few months. Of course, some drug users are being rehabilitated, for example, by organizations having them build coffins.
If they did not change their former way of living, there might be the one using this casket for them. But it's not, it's just a joke.
Ha ha! What a joke. Obama isn't laughing, though. The U.S. has been one of many governments expressing serious concern over the extrajudicial killings of not just drug dealers, but also drug users. And Duterte has not taken the criticism of his anti-drug campaign well.
I would like to just give an advice to the all human rights shouting now, local and international. I said you can all go to hell.
So yeah, he doesn't like criticism. Look, the Philippines does have a very serious drug problem. The previous president wasn't able to do anything about it. That could be one of the reasons why Duterte is so popular inside the Philippines. And I get why distancing yourself from the United States has appeal. For years, the Philippines was basically a U.S. colony. My favorite Filipino dish, sizzling sisig, basically exists because the only meat people could afford was discarded pig heads sold by U.S. troops. Pig heads, it turns out, are delicious. But China is a bad alternative. China and Russia are also carrying out joint military drills in the South China Sea. And while China might agree to let Filipino fishermen in, doesn't that sound more like they're granting Filipino fishermen access to Chinese territory? And as for the war on drugs, well, President Duterte, you said it yourself.
But most of the materials, lahat, and the machines and the boilers are from China. What does that mean?
It means she ain't gonna treat you right. So what do you think of President Duterte breaking up with the United States for China? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.